Hi guys, this is Mary. You're watching Cardz TV. We're going to make another birthday card today, and we're going to use one of my favorite cartridges, A Child's Year. I haven't used this in a while, so I got it out and started taking another look at it because I always find some little hidden gems every time I take it out. That's why it's one of my favorites. And I found this little, it actually is a tooth fairy, but I'm just going to say she's a little fairy. She's really cute, and she's got like a wand with a star on the end. So I cut her out of some black cardstock. She's on page 77. And I cut her out at 3 inches. I didn't cut the shadow or anything, just the little fairy out of some black cardstock. And we're going to use one of my Cardz TV stamp sets. This is Make-A-Wish. And we're going to use the sentiment, Make-A-Wish, and put that on our little card. So let me get everything moved over here. I've got some beautiful papers I want to show you. We're going to use a ivory card base. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's a portrait style card. And look at these gorgeous papers. These didn't come from the scrapbook store or Michael's or anywhere like that. These are digital papers, and I found these. These are freebies, and I found them over at Stamp TV. Gina K has provided lots of free digital papers, and all you have to do is go and download them. And I think these are just gorgeous. These two come from the set called Rich and Shabby. So just go on over to stamptv.com and check it out and see what there are. There are lots and lots of them. And I like this because it coordinates so well. And I thought it was really pretty to use with my little fairy. But like I said, our card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then this really pretty black and pink I cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to layer that on. Then this beautiful floral, which I think coordinates really well, is 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to layer that one on. And because I love to do layers, you guys know that, I've got another piece of this black and pink floral. This one I cut a little bit smaller. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And we're going to layer that on. And all this is going to be the base for my sentiment mat and the mat that's going to have the little fairy on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these layered, and then I'll show you how we're going to finish up our quick little birthday card. We've got all our layers put down on our card, and I think that looks really pretty. And here's our little fairy. And let me tell you a little bit about cutting this one out. You can see how thin and fragile her wings are. To cut this out, I put my Cricut on multi-cut to cut 2 times. I lowered my pressure to medium, and I lowered my setting on my blade to 3, and that worked out perfectly. It cut her wings out, and they're very fine and thin, and she turned out really cute, I think. And I cut her out at 3 inches, and I've got her on 1 thickness of foam tape, and even her star, but I didn't do her wings because I would have to use my 2-way glue pen, and plus I like them kind of loose, because when you get the rest of her adhered down, her wings will have just a little bit of a lift to them. And I think that'll be really pretty. Now here's my sentiment mat. I've already stamped Make-A-Wish on there with the Cardz TV stamps, and just like on her little wand, I put a little tiny rhinestone in the center of the star. I put a medium-sized rhinestone and then a smaller one next to it, just to kind of accent and highlight the sentiment. And I also took a Martha Stewart punch. I don't know the name of this one. It's kind of lacy and floral, and I thought it was really pretty. And this is kind of a little shabby chic card, and I thought that worked really well. But I cut this sentiment mat at 3 inches, and I cut it at 4 1/2, just like this one. So when I punched the bottom, it worked out just right. And all I'm going to do is line this up with the bottom and it'll come out just right at the top. Okay, we've got our sentiment mat down, and let's take the paper off of our little fairy and put her on, and our sweet little birthday card is done. Here's our finished birthday card made with a child's year and the Make-A-Wish stamp set from Cardz TV, and I think it just turned out super sweet. I love these papers from Stamp TV, and I love this little fairy. I think she's so sweet, and these little rhinestones I think really just give it a lot of sparkle. Thanks so much for coming by today, guys. I'll see you again really soon. Bye now.